People often repeat the old saying that your network is your net worth. But what if I told you that the connection is much more direct than you realize in your daily life? Are you currently wondering why you feel stuck in the same place year after year without any real progress? Perhaps you are questioning why your personal growth seems to have completely stalled over the last several months. The answer might be found by simply looking around at the people you currently spend the most time with. The friends you associate with most often could be the exact reason you are either soaring high or staying exactly where you are. Today, we are going to deep dive into this powerful, often overlooked relationship between your circle and your success. We will examine precisely why your peer group dictates your actual income level month after month. Your current relationships also heavily influence your mindset and perspective every single day you wake up. Furthermore, these close connections shape the opportunities that actually come across your path when you are looking. This entire discussion is going to fundamentally change how you view every single relationship in your life from this moment forward. Whether you actively acknowledge it or not, your subconscious mind is constantly absorbing information from your surroundings. You soak up the core beliefs held by the people you regularly interact with, like a sponge does water. You also take on their established daily habits without even realizing you are forming them yourself. The general energy that surrounds you when you socialize becomes your new default baseline reality very quickly. Consider this specific scenario. If your friends complain about their lives constantly, you will soon join that pessimistic chorus. If their dreams remain remarkably small, your own aspirations will naturally shrink to match the group's limited scope. When your circle constantly blames external forces for their problems, you adopt that very same victim mentality almost immediately. Humans are inherently wired to mirror the environment we find ourselves in most often. It's just biology. This strong biological impulse explains why people from ambitious circles often succeed more rapidly in their careers. It is usually not because they possess superior intelligence or inherent talent from birth. Surprisingly, the key factor is that genuine ambition is incredibly contagious when it is shared within a close group daily. However, the negative traits spread just as easily through close social proximity. We must admit that laziness, for example, finds a perfect breeding ground in a non-motivated group that lacks drive. Persistent negativity will also quickly infect your own outlook on life if you are not careful. That nagging feeling of self-doubt can easily be reinforced and amplified by others in your circle. Essentially, your internal thinking becomes a direct reflection of your external surroundings over time. Your mind adapts to whatever it is consistently being shown by the people you choose to stand near. Think about the last time you were around highly driven individuals who were constantly pushing forward. You probably felt an unspoken pressure to keep up with their intense focus and incredible pace. This shows the powerful, silent programming that your friends are constantly running in the background of your consciousness. Ask yourself this question honestly, without any avoidance or self-deception. Right now, what incredibly important topics do you actually discuss when you meet up with your closest friends? Are your conversations focused on actionable goals, smart investments, and personal self-improvement strategies? Or are you mostly engaged in talking about gossip, unnecessary drama, and other people's personal lives? Do you spend most of your time rehashing past regrets and things that you simply cannot change anymore? Your collective conversations are honestly a strong predictor of the direction your life is heading. A mindset focused on wealth consistently talks about building and shaping the future ahead of you. A mindset that feels financially restricted often spends all its time talking only about other people. A lost mindset tends to dwell heavily on past decisions and things that will never return. Every single conversation you engage in is either propelling you forward or actively holding you in place. Be aware of which direction your average dialogue is actually taking you each week. Think deeply about this concept. Your friends' habits begin to influence your own personal rhythm. If your inner circle consistently wakes up late and actively avoids all major responsibilities, this becomes your default. They might also choose to party every single weekend, shifting your priorities toward leisure. But consider the opposite example, where your friends are constantly reading challenging books. If they are actively building new skills or starting up small business ventures, you will follow that path. You will naturally rise to meet that higher standard of productive behavior that they set. Remember that habits are not purely isolated personal decisions. They are deeply social commitments. You become disciplined much faster when you are surrounded by people who are already self-controlled. You are guaranteed to grow much faster when you are with people who genuinely push you past your comfort zone. The ancient wisdom holds true. Iron definitely sharpens iron through mutual contact and friction. Most truly life-changing opportunities do not come from complete strangers on the street. Let's be honest. The greatest breakthroughs in your life almost always originate directly from within your established circle of trust. It could be a trusted friend recommending you for an exciting new job opening you didn't even know existed. Perhaps it's a mentor figure introducing you to an important investor who believes in your vision. It might be a dedicated business partner showing you a brilliant, untapped idea that changes everything for you. Or maybe a colleague simply shares specific technical skills you've been lacking for months, helping you learn fast. The right supportive circle acts as a massive accelerator for your entire personal journey. Conversely, the wrong circle acts like a total blindfold, preventing you from seeing what is ahead. Sometimes, the difficulty you perceive in the world is simply a direct result of your limited personal network. If everyone around you lives in financial scarcity and irresponsibility, that condition becomes your accepted standard. But if everyone in your group is actively improving their health and managing their money well, that becomes the default expectation. Your circle fundamentally determines the internal difference between two opposing choices you face daily. One side says, saving money is vitally important for future security, with conviction. The opposing voice whispers, money is simply meant to be spent instantly on immediate gratification. Another internal debate is between building something big or simply deciding why bother, because it is too hard. The choice becomes, let's hit the gym today, no matter what, versus let's just skip the workout session. Your entire life trajectory genuinely changes the specific moment. Your personal definition of what is normal shifts. Some friends you spend time with actively drain your personal reserves of energy without giving anything back. Other friends, however, possess a spark that genuinely inspires you and makes you want to strive for more. You might leave certain encounters feeling completely empty and emotionally depleted after the visit. Then you might see others who leave you feeling incredibly excited and newly energized about life again. Energy itself is perhaps the most underrated and valuable currency we possess in this modern world. The people you share your limited time with constantly transfer their internal energy directly to you. If they are constantly stressed out about minor things, you inevitably absorb a degree of that pervasive stress yourself. If they carry genuine hope for the future, you will absorb that powerful optimism into your own core belief system. If they feed on negativity, you are guaranteed to soak up the same dark perspective over time. If they are relentlessly driven toward their objectives, you will absorb that powerful ambition too. You cannot always select the specific energy you receive. In a given moment, that much is true. But you absolutely retain the conscious power to choose precisely who you stand next to every day. One of the hardest lessons you will ever learn in this life is accepting a difficult realization. It is perfectly okay to still love someone very much, while simultaneously realizing you have completely outgrown them. Not every single person you start your journey with is actually meant to be there with you until the very end. Some essential friends are truly meant only for a specific chapter, not for the entire book of your life. Some people were absolutely perfect for the person you were last year, but not for the person you are becoming now. True personal growth in any area of life inherently requires some degree of sacrifice from you. Sometimes, that necessary sacrifice simply means creating meaningful distance between yourself and certain people. This act of creating distance does not mean that you suddenly think you are superior to them in any way. It simply means that you are actively choosing to walk in a specific, different direction. Now, you do not necessarily need friends who are already rich or famous to help your financial standing. What you truly need are friends who are deeply growth-minded and always seeking improvement. Actively look for people who consistently take full responsibility for the outcomes in their own lives. Seek out those who prefer discussing tangible ideas and concepts rather than fixating on other people. Prioritize friends who actively invest their own time and resources back into bettering themselves constantly. Find those individuals whose focus remains firmly fixed on achieving their long-term, meaningful goals. Find friends who genuinely encourage your progress instead of secretly competing with you for every small win. The right person will actually call you out gently when they see you starting to slip backwards from your commitment. They must be the kind of people who genuinely celebrate your every success, big or small, with enthusiasm. Most importantly, they should always be the ones who push you harder to constantly become a better version of yourself. Remember this absolutely crucial piece of wisdom as you evaluate your connections moving forward. The single quickest way to fundamentally change the trajectory of your entire life is to change who you share it with. Because your friends do not just determine your monetary net worth over the long run, they determine your actual mindset, your daily habits, your transferable energy, and all of your future opportunities. Ultimately, they determine your entire future success and happiness. Therefore, I urge you to choose your circle of influence incredibly wisely starting this very moment. People often repeat the old saying that your